Far beneath the waves of the Pacific Ocean where light barely penetrates lives, a creature both feared and revered. The Humboldt squid, also called the jumbo squid, is one of the largest and most commercially valuable squid species on Earth. Measuring up to 1.5 meters in length and weighing over 50 kilograms, these animals are fast, powerful, and perfectly adapted to life in the open ocean. What sets them apart isn't just their size, but their behavior. At night, they rise in massive schools from depths of 500 to 700 meters to hunt in the shallows. During the day, they retreat again to the dark, cold depths. Their bodies pulse with rapid flashes of red and white, thanks to cells in their skin known as chromatophores. This living light show has earned them the nickname Diablos Rojos, or Red Devils. To fishermen, these squid represent both risk and reward. Their global market value is immense feeding demand from Asia to North America. But catching them requires ingenuity and increasingly machines. The story of how humans use robots to capture millions of tons of these creatures each year begins with the ocean itself, unpredictable, dangerous, and full of opportunity. The Humboldt squid is built for survival. Its mantle, the muscular main body, makes up more than half its total weight and powers its jet propulsion system. By expelling water through a siphon, the squid can launch itself forward with startling bursts of speed. Its fins guide direction while enormous eyes scan the darkness with precision, rivaling that of any predator in the sea. Then there are the arms. 10 in total, 8 shorter ones, and 2 long feeding tentacles lined with hundreds of suction cups each, armed with tiny razor-sharp teeth. Once prey is captured, the squid pulls it toward a beak, as sharp as a parrot's, capable of tearing flesh and bone with ease. Their diet includes fish, shrimp, and even other squid. They are opportunistic hunters that waste nothing. Yet power alone does not define them. These squid display behaviors that suggest intelligence and social coordination. In synchronized schools, they communicate with rapid skin flashes, shifting patterns across their bodies like signals in the night. Scientists believe this could be a form of language, a way to warn, attract mates, or organize hunts. Imagine an army of glowing red predators moving in unison across the ocean floor. For centuries, squid were caught by hand using simple lines, weighted hooks, and a great deal of patience. Fishermen would haul them up one by one, fighting the powerful pull of tentacles and the messy spray of ink. But modern demand for squid, especially the Humboldt, has grown far beyond what traditional methods can supply. Enter robotic jigging systems. Today's squid boats are outfitted with rows of mechanized arms that drop dozens of lures into the water simultaneously. Bright floodlights shine across the waves, creating an artificial moon that lures squid to the surface. Once they rise, the machines begin a steady rhythm, jerking the lures up and down in motions that mimic fleeing prey. Each arm can haul up hundreds of squid in a single night. The technology isn't just efficient, it's relentless. While human hands might tire after hours of repetitive pulling, these machines work all night, every night, bringing in catches that can weigh several tons before dawn. On larger vessels, electronic controls allow crews to adjust depth, speed, and timing, fine-tuning the lure movement to match the mood of the squid. It is a symphony of steel and light, designed for one purpose: to capture the ocean's red devils. The moment a squid hits the deck, the race against time begins. Their flesh spoils quickly, and maintaining quality is essential for international trade. Crew members move fast, sliding the heavy animals into chilled seawater tanks. Some are processed immediately on board, cleaned, cut into rings or fillets, and flash frozen in powerful industrial freezers. Others are packed whole, layered in ice, and stored in the ship's hold. By the time the vessel returns to port, the cargo represents not only food but livelihoods. Factories onshore transform the raw catch into a staggering variety of products: calamari steaks, frozen rings, flavored snacks, and even processed items like squid sausages. In countries such as Japan, China, and Spain, demand is constant, and shipments leave the docks almost as soon as they arrive. The economic ripple stretches further. Villages in Mexico, Peru, and Chile depend heavily on squid fishing seasons, with entire local economies tied to the rise and fall of the Humboldt catch. For many families, each night's haul means school fees, groceries, and survival. Robots may do the pulling, but human communities carry the weight of the industry. When we look at the global seafood trade, squid might not seem as glamorous as salmon or tuna, but in truth, it is one of the most traded marine products in the world. Every year, millions of tons are caught, processed, frozen, and shipped across oceans. From the bustling ports of Peru and Chile to the enormous processing hubs in China, the journey of squid is a story of global connections, big money, and intense competition. In South America, especially along the coastlines of Peru, Ecuador, and Chile, fleets of industrial vessels bring in thousands of tons of Humboldt squid each season. These squid are quickly sorted and packed into refrigerated containers, ready to head across the Pacific. Asia is the largest buyer, with China, Japan, and South Korea leading imports. There, squid transforms into countless dishes, grilled skewers, sizzling over hot coals, sushi toppings in high-end restaurants, and even dried snacks sold in corner shops. Europe has its own strong demand, with Spain and Italy known for their love of calamari, while in the United States, fried squid rings have become a staple appetizer in restaurants from New York to Los Angeles. The scale of this trade is staggering. Some ports in China handle over 1 million tons of squid each year, much of it arriving frozen in massive blocks before being cleaned, sliced, and repackaged. Workers in these factories process thousands of squid per hour, creating neat boxes of fillets, rings, and steaks destined for supermarkets worldwide. It is an industry that generates billions of dollars annually, feeding families, supporting coastal economies, and sustaining jobs for entire communities. But behind the wealth lies tension. Nations fiercely guard their fishing rights, and disputes over squid-rich waters have become more common. Distant water fleets from Asia, traveling thousands of miles, sometimes operate right on the edge of other nations' exclusive economic zones, creating friction with local governments. At night, satellite images show hundreds of glowing lights from squid fishing vessels clustered together like floating cities chasing the same resource. Watchdog groups warn that many of these operations are poorly regulated, and in some cases outright illegal. The question of who controls squid has become more than a matter of fishing. It is a question of sovereignty law and even security. For communities that depend on squid, the stakes are incredibly high. In parts of Mexico's Baja California, entire towns rely on the squid fishery for survival. Families work on small boats, processing plants, and local markets their livelihoods tied to the rise and fall of squid populations. In Peru, squid represents one of the country's most valuable exports, bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars each year. In Asia, the supply chain provides jobs for thousands of factory workers who clean, freeze, and package squid around the clock. Every plate of calamari in a restaurant represents an invisible network of people: fishermen, factory workers, traders, truck drivers, chefs, all connected through this single species. And yet the industry remains fragile. Climate change, shifting ocean temperatures, and overfishing can cause sudden collapses. In 2015, the squid population in the Gulf of California crashed, leaving fishermen without income and exposing the vulnerability of a system built on a single species. These disruptions ripple across borders, affecting international trade, local food security, and global markets. The humble squid has become more than just food. It is now a geopolitical resource, a driver of regional economies, and a symbol of the challenges we face in balancing human demand with ocean sustainability. When you see squid on a menu, it is easy to think of it as a simple dish. But behind it lies a story of technology migration, international negotiations, and the relentless pursuit of one of the ocean's most mysterious and valuable creatures. Yet the story of squid is not only about abundance. Like all marine resources, they face the pressure of overfishing and climate change. Warmer waters, shifting currents, and industrial-scale fleets push squid populations to their limits. In some regions, such as the Gulf of California, stocks have collapsed in recent years, devastating communities that relied on them. Fisheries scientists now emphasize the importance of sustainable practices. Electronic tagging and satellite monitoring are being used to understand squid migration routes and spawning cycles. Quotas and seasonal bans are debated to prevent collapse. Some fisheries experiment with selective robotic jigs that reduce bycatch and target only mature squid. The challenge is balance, feeding a global appetite while ensuring the oceans remain healthy. Technology offers promise, but it is only part of the solution. Transparent governance, international cooperation, and consumer awareness all play vital roles. Choosing squid from certified sustainable fisheries, for instance, signals demand for responsible practices. And so as robots lower their lines into the dark waters night after night, the future of this industry hangs not only on steel and light, but on human choices. The Squid story reminds us that the ocean is vast but not infinite, and that every meal connects us to ecosystems and people far beyond the plate.